Idaho Sports Talk, Prater and the Ball Game, hour number 2. We're having fun today. It's Big Sky Day here at Idaho Sports Talk. Of course, the Big Sky football kickoff media day from Northern Quest Casino in Spokane. We're joined now by the head football coach of the Idaho State Bengals, Cody Hawkins. Welcome to the program, Hawk. Can't wait to talk to you about your team. How goes it?
Yeah, thanks for having me. It goes great. It's wonderful. It's a beautiful day here in Spokane. But excited to get back to Pocatello. Season's coming up fast.
I love it, man. It's getting real, obviously, like you said. Things are coming up fast. How are you processing this, Hawk? I mean, you wake up feeling any different? Head football coach, Idaho State, you're there. All the other coaches, the players. This thing's real, huh?
Well, I think the most thing I'm feeling is just age. I'm not as young as I once was. And I think you got kids. And I don't know if it's being 35 now or the fact that we got 2 kids and another one on the way. I'm feeling life, but man, I've never been feeling better. I think I'm super excited about the opportunity, and I love the people in Pocatello have been so supportive. And I've grown up just yearning for football season. You kind of grow to have that internal clock, and you know it's time to hit somebody.
Hawk, what's the question you're getting most down there? You're making your rounds, you're talking to the reporters, you're doing the TV stuff. Is there that one question that every single person has asked you so far? If so, what was that?
Yeah, I think the 2 questions people always ask is, how does your dad feel about it? Which he's been unbelievably supportive. He's an amazing mentor. And I mean, I love him. I love the guys at Davis and totally believe in what they're doing. But I'm really excited for the opportunity to come home and do something special in Pokey because the Bengals deserve to have a winner and a program that they're proud of. The second question I get is, what's going to be different? Because every coach comes in and they talk about culture and they say a lot of stuff. And I'm just devoted to making the actuals better. I want to treat people really well, but I also want to see tangible differences in our budget and our nutrition and our facilities. And we got some proud alums and an amazing administration that are making that happen.
You can smell the football season. It's Big Sky Media Day as we get fired up with another Idaho State football season. Cody Hawkins joining us from Spokane. Big Sky Media Day is up there. Cody, let's get the elephant out of the room. It's not really an elephant. You just talked about your dad, and we certainly want the focus to be on you. But when you see your dad at a function like this, a public function, coach to coach, do you call him Big Hawk? Do you call him Dad? Do you call him Coach? What do you call your dad?
I've always called him Dad. Even when I was playing for him and coaching for him, maybe other people think that's weird. I always felt the most important thing was to be authentic. I mean, I love my dad. He's my role model. He's my hero. He's amazing. But I'm a different person than he is. There are things that I will do differently in football than he does, and it doesn't mean they're better or worse. They're just different. But I mean, even last night there was a heavy metal concert on his side of the casino, so he came over and we crashed on the same bed for a little bit until the concert was over. So
oh my God!
I mean, we're always in constant communication. I love that guy, but I also think that one of the greatest things about my dad is he was real, and I think that the kids in the community in Pocatello, I want them to see my kids. I want them to know that I love my kids. I want them to know what my favorite songs are. I also want them to know that I'm aware of what my flaws are, because we all got to be a little bit more self-aware if we're going to improve and understand, hey, there's some challenges in Pocatello, but there are a lot of awesome benefits, and let's continue to work on our weaknesses and let's emphasize our strengths, and we can all get better together.
Obviously a lot of family love there, but where's the competitive Jones kick in? He's voted number 2, and we'll get to the football part of this. We're going to talk about where Idaho State ended up. Not good on the poll, number 12, if we're keeping it real. Any kind of competitive, Dad, I want to be like you, or son here, or any kind of competitive, I don't want to say trash talking, but getting after each other a little bit.
There's always joking, but I mean, it's great. When the lights come on, the great thing about football is you can be worse than somebody else 364 days a year. But I mean, hey, last time I was with the Ags and we went to Pocatello, we threw 3 picks in the red zone and roughed the punter and let them get 2 scores going into half and coming out of half, and we lost that football game. Yeah. We had no business losing that game. I mean, the thing about football is any competition is, hey, if you play well, you're going to have a shot to win. And that's one thing I talk to our guys a lot. I know last year in Pocatello, there was a lot of frustrations that they quote unquote should have won. I told them, guys, you shouldn't win any game. There's no game. I mean, even the Broncos that you guys do, there's no game on the schedule that they should win. Mm-hmm. What they should do is go out and play good football. You got to score in the red zone. You got to get 3 and outs on defense. You got to get turnovers and take care of the football. That's how you win football games. And if you focus on what should be happening and not what's actually happening and the steps to success, you're not going to get where you want to go.
Cody Hawkins joining us, the head football coach, Idaho State Bengals. And you have some advantages, Cody, since you know this league. You've been a part of it for a while. What sticks out in your opinion, with the Big Sky this year as a whole, and where do your Bengals, in your opinion, fit into things right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the shocking thing about the Big Sky is there's just so much good football and so many good players. And I know we don't get the shine that the Mountain West and the Pac-12 does, but hey, on the West Coast, there are 3 Division I leagues. All right, if you're living in North Carolina, you could probably play in about 7. You got the SEC, the ACC, the Big E, the Big Ten. You got the American, the Conference USA, the Sun Belt is down there. I mean, it's out of control. But for us, it's very limited where those really good athletes can go play. So I have a ton of respect for the coaches in the league. I'm not saying that anything went right or wrong last year, but I just think, if you come in and you take a job like Idaho State, you better respect the other coaches in the conference, because nobody's going to walk into Pocatello and just, fix everything with a play. Because hey, Rob Fennessy could coach, like Charlie Ragle could coach, Kramer could coach. I mean, but you got to have somebody who gets everyone to believe in who you are and what your mission is. And you got to lay out a plan and just take incremental steps every day to get better. Because I know if we play good football, we'll have a shot to win some football games. But anybody who stands around and says, if you can win 5 games, that's no big deal. You look at the schedule and tell me the 5 teams in the Big Sky that are easy out. There aren't.
Right.
And right now where we're at in the polls, everybody's looking at us, and that's kind of the first mission is, hey, I get we're at the bottom of the food chain right now, brother, but we're hungry and we're working and we're good people. And I'm committed to making sure that our athletes are closer with each other than anybody else is, and that they have better relationships with the coaching staffs. And regardless of what our facilities look like right now or the players we have right now, we're going to coach them at an elite level, and we're going to have fun, and we're going to care for them, and we're going to be better. We're going to be better tomorrow, because I know, like you guys said, hey, we're 12th in the polls, and honestly, we should be. Like, just nobody in the Big Sky knows what they're doing in the media. I respectfully, but every media person, you just base off of what happened last year. Mm-hmm. And I think the fact that the coaches poll and the media poll don't always really match up. I mean, the coaches are much more in tune with, dang, we wanted that recruit, but he went to Missoula. Or, man, they just got this quarterback transfer from XYZ, and nobody in the media knows who he is, but we've seen tape on him, and we know he's darn good, right? I have a ton of respect for the coach in this league. I know it's going to be really hard. We're going to have to invest in our guys, and we're going to get better every day, and I hope people are proud of what we're doing with their players.
Cody Hawkins, Idaho State football coach, out of respect to the message that you just put out there, even though you haven't played a game yet, do you feel like you've made a difference with this program, and what is that difference right now?
I'm not the person to tell you whether or not we made a difference. You'd have to talk to the people that know me and our players, because it's not about me. I mean, I can tell you that our administration is fantastic. I mean, I've never been more impressed with an athletic administrator in my life than Pauline Thero. She's positive, she's upbeat, she's also real, and man, she is scrapping to make change. I think she's on the clock, 23 and a half hours a day. I don't know how she sleeps. And our players have been great. I feel like their mental state is better than when I got there, but that's a huge testament to themselves. And I think they believe in each other and the work that they're putting in. We've got obviously guys like Jeff Pittman jumping in, making big changes for us. It's the first time they've ever had a full-time strength coach. So there are some positive improvements, but it's not because of me. It's because of everything on a Pocatello and everybody's hand in it.
Cody Hawkins again with us. You saw firsthand last year with Davis what Jason Eck was able to do year one, flipping that thing up in Moscow. Cody, does that give you any sense that, hey, this might be able to, I mean, it's not impossible for us to get our teeth knocked out next year. We can win games. Do you use that as fuel or an example at all? What I guess your rival, the Vandals, were able to do last year with Eck? Does that mean anything?
Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, Eck had a 3-win improvement last year and did, really good job. I mean, it wasn't like, those are different things. I thought Idaho had a tradition of success, and I thought the single best thing that Coach Eck has done is really flip that culture. Because if you talk to guys like Hayden Hatton and Jermaine Johnson out here, mm-hmm. That's it. I mean, the wins, they weren't drastically better on the field. They were better as people. They were more accountable. They were better in situations. Because when we were playing the Vandals the year before, it was they were probably more talented in, the COVID year in 2021 with some of those NFL guys that they had on offense and defense. But Eck just got those guys to believe. And yeah, they got 3 wins better, but the big difference was it felt better. Right? Like, I mean, he did more on social media. Yep. They weren't getting blown out of games. They weren't losing games that they shouldn't lose. And so for us, I mean, we're in different stages. We have different budgets. I mean, it's not even close, but we're gonna throw some punches. But I think the things you can learn from Jason Eck are, hey, before you can play better, it's got to feel better, and the players have to feel better about being there. And we're definitely doing that. I know we can get better in this league. I know we got to climb, but man, I'm going to be climbing with really good people, and we're going to be climbing our butts off.
Cody Hawkins, you open up the season September 2nd at San Diego State, followed by a game at Utah State. X's and O's wise, as you sit here right now entering fall camp, what is the strength of your football team?
The strength of our football team right now, it's probably just the depth. I think as you talk about the floors and the ceiling of the program, I think we're just lucky to have a lot of really good football players. We don't have a lot of elite football players because I think in order to be elite, you got to be consistent. And I haven't been there long enough to say that these guys are consistent, but we don't have a lot of bad football players on our team. We just got to find the right guys for our system and plug them in. On offense, I'd say I think we got really good receivers. I don't know if we have one guy who's going to be the best receiver in the conference, but we probably have about 7 guys that could have played for us at Davis, which I'm really excited about. And on defense, man, I think our back end is legit. Calvin Pitcher, who's here today. We had a couple other new guys come in, Josh Alford, Tyler Bohannon. Our secondary is going to be pretty darn good. Our hope is that we can get, 5 DBs on the field and they can play physical and they can create some confusion for opposing quarterbacks.
Cody, who did you vote for in the preseason poll? I noticed that UC Davis got 1 first place vote. Was that you?
Hell yeah.
Because I don't know if you could vote for your own team. You probably didn't. And you give UC Davis a vote. That makes sense to me. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, and you can clarify that. But, okay, go back at the roster and look at who UC Davis lost. Almost nobody. They lost 1 tackle and replaced him with a transfer from Nebraska. Also, a huge thing in the Big Sky, you don't play everybody every year. They don't play the Vandals. They don't play Montana State. And the Grizz and Sac State play at Aggie Stadium.
That's
big.
That's
the big thing. And in non-conference, they have 2 non-money games, right? Like they got to play Oregon State, which is a tough out, but you get Southern Utah and A&M Commerce. And they got the best passer in the conference. All due respect to Tommy Malott. I think, the kid up at Idaho's Giovanni is really good. But I think Miles is the best player in the conference from a passing perspective. And they got older skill guys back. They got 4 linemen back, and the transfer from Nebraska is the other guy. And Lan Larison, that kid's the best athlete in the conference. I don't care what anybody says. He's unbelievable. He'll play in the National Football League. He's everything you want in a person. And I believe in that staff. Those guys were in my wedding. Their wives delivered my babies. And I'm rooting for them in every game. The schedule lines up for it. And I hope their life is great. And then I hope they come to Pocatello. I hope we pack the stands. I hope it's loud. I hope it's orange and black. We're going to play Halloween music, and we're going to do something funky to beat those guys.
All right, Cody, I know we got to let you go. We're going to do everything we can here at Idaho Sports Talk to get Boise to sporting some orange and black, too. We're all about what you're doing there in Pocatello. We can't wait to keep bringing you on. Cody Hawkins, let's get this done, bud. Thanks for coming on with us.